Does the fact that we're not having that debate concern you? That debt is sort of like Gresham's law, it's driving out every other subject?
Well, it will, and that will get worse because we haven't dealt with the structural changes that need to be. I mean, look, I'm 58, right? And there were lots of people my age who are about to retire. And we're just, the debt situation and the deficit situation is just going to get worse from here. And it's going to particularly get worse in the 2020s. So this is really our last chance to deal with it in anything like a non-explosive manner. So you deal with it now, or you really hit a brick wall a decade from now. So I think it's important. As time goes on, the longer it takes for us to deal with it, the more and more the demands of my generation to be supported will crowd out everything else. And you know, one thing I would point out to someone my age is that under current law, there will be, when I am 73, a 25% across-the-board reduction in all Social Security checks. That's current law. When Ms. Pelosi says we're not going to touch Social Security, we're not making any changes, what she is saying is 15 years from now, every Social Security recipient will get a 25% benefit cut. Now, obviously, she doesn't mention that.
Unless taxes are raised to fund it. I mean, if you want to fund it,
right,
you can
that's
fund
correct.
it.
That's right, unless, yes. But she's not proposing that either.
Sure.
So under current law, we will all, when we're 15 years older than we are now, and less able to adjust, face a big cut. It's even worse for Medicare. And you can't raise taxes enough to meet those demands. You probably could in the 2020s. You could take the tax share of GDP up to close to 50%. You know, it's interesting, the Congressional Budget Office has a projection of what the tax share of GDP will have to be. And at the end of the 2030s, they stop projecting because they say it will be impossible to sustain it at this level. Okay. This is the Congressional Budget Office. This is not a partisan statement. This is a mathematical fact. It is mathematically impossible for us to maintain the current level of entitlement system. We have to cut. You won't be able to cover it just with taxes. No one who looks at the numbers, who actually has a calculator in their hands, believes that we can. We have to cut entitlements, period.